Hello, welcome back to Making Sense Conversations, the podcast. This past weekend, I ran together with my team the Standard Chartered Marathon. And I hadn't run for a while. I hadn't actually trained for this marathon. I did 10 kilometers. But at some point, and even during the week, I was like, oh, am I really going to make it? Should I really go? But at some point, I decided I was going to run it. So on Friday morning, I picked up myself and ran 3 kilometers just to remind my body what it takes to run. The rest of the weekend, I took it easy. I rested, I slept well, I hydrated. And that morning, I remember just telling myself, imagine we're going to do it. We're not even going to contemplate walking. We're not going to contemplate it will be hot. We're not going to contemplate anything. How many people there will be. We're just actually going to go and run the race, and we're going to run it. And even as I was running it, I just kept telling myself, this is for you, Sheke. You are going to finish this race. And I finished it. Yeah. And it just started hitting me, the power of narrative, the stories we tell ourselves. Now we're continuing this series on women and money. And as I continue having so many conversations, and you know why I like talking to women? Because it's not just about money. It's everything that is going on in our lives comes back to somehow affect our money. Sometimes the money is the root. Sometimes the money is the cause. And it's all sorts of things. But I love having conversations with women because we open up about other things. And we like taking a very holistic approach to life. And that's what makes conversations with women so diverse. So, how does the narrative that we hold in our heads affect our money? Now, I learned about a cycle in Alabastron a while back, and it has always helped me. And it's that our experiences shape our beliefs, which then shapes our thoughts, which then shapes our patterns. So experiences is just what happens to you. We have good experiences, we have what we call bad experiences. From that, we get away, we get a belief system. Sometimes it's a self-belief or a belief system about the world. It's the narrative itself. That becomes what we constantly think about, and it shows up in our patterns. You know, the Bible says you shall know them by their fruits. It will show up in the pattern. So whatever you're doing, whether you're spending too much money, whether you're feeling guilty about having money, whether you're stingy, whether you're hoarding, whether you're constantly in debt, there's possibly a pattern, and it's extremely powerful to recognize that pattern. In the book Making Sense, and if you don't have it, go read that, because I write about my patterns, and not just my patterns. There are other people, Douglas, Faith, Dishon, who have explained how childhood has shaped our patterns. So sometimes it's not you, it's the little boy or the little girl that is actually responding to life. And unfortunately for most of us, we really never got a lesson about money when we were children. So what we observed, we just took as fact. What are the influential people in our lives, our parents, we just took as fact. So I remember on my 10th birthday, I had a birthday party, and my aunts and uncles gave me at that time, getting 950 shillings was a lot of money. And I gave it to my dad. This story is in the book, and he knows I talk about it. And I told him to open for me a savings account. So somehow I knew about a savings account. And I think I knew it because my dad, there's a time I'd gone to the bank with him, and he had explained certain things to me about her money in a bank. So I forgot it, complete trust. And when I was 18, I asked for, give me the keys to the savings account. And he's like, what savings account? And he gave me like 2,000 shillings and told me, be on your way. But somehow I could tell that's not right. And now when I understand time value of money calculations, I should have gotten, for 950 shillings 8 years ago, I should have gotten a lot more than 2,000 shillings. But with money, when I investigate my relationship with money, there was a time period in my life, basically between that and when I started Centonomy, where the concept of I didn't see the value. So if you're a parent there, please don't do that to your child, because they might lose the sense of value or respect for that long-term saving, which is what we're trying to cultivate in them. So I didn't see the value. So I went on a spree. If you have money, spend it. If you have money, spend it. Because I never got to see the effect of saving money. So the belief was, even though you keep it, it won't work out, or you can't trust people with your money. So I had a huge problem trusting people with our money. My thoughts would always be, if I have money in my pocket, where do I spend it? And of course, it showed up in my patterns. I was on a paycheck to paycheck cycle, sometimes paycheck to paycheck and then debt. So even when I didn't have a salary, it didn't necessarily stop the pattern. It's until I got into quite a bit of debt, borrowing to sustain a lifestyle, that I had to check this. And luckily, I was now able to recognize the pattern. So what's your narrative about money? Because many times we are blaming employers, many times we're blaming business, many times we're blaming the economy, but we never want to sit back and look, what's your experience with money? So for women, maybe you didn't see a role model of a woman who has money and is empowered with money. So you may have found yourself in a situation where you do have money, or even in fact the breadwinner of your family, and it's uncomfortable because as much as that is your reality, your belief is different. So first and foremost, before we blame everybody else, maybe you're struggling with it. Maybe you're not the woman who has money. Maybe you've made a decision for a while to stay at home, but maybe what you had seen growing up is the woman who's influential in your life. It could be your mom, your aunt, whatever role model. Be very empowered with money. So you're also struggling with it. So I think women, we are finding ourselves in a place where we are advancing, we are doing well in our careers, we are making money, we are buying property, but something struggles with it, and not just our own beliefs, but also sometimes society beliefs, I think, struggle with where women have found themselves. So society and the cultural beliefs and the roles we're supposed to play is still catching up to the reality of where women are just starting to go, and we've just started going. Women are going to make a lot more money. They are going to be a lot wealthier. They're going to rise up a lot higher in their careers. They're going to start a lot more businesses that actually thrive. But we are still catching up. And I just want for you to reflect and see, what's your narrative? And it's not what you think you should think. You should be thinking, this is okay with me. I should save. I should invest. I'm not. But what is it? Even the cycles of debt sometimes we get ourselves into. What's the narrative? The narrative could be you believe that it is your responsibility to consistently bail other people out. Maybe that's what you saw. Maybe that's how you grew up. Maybe you're the oldest sibling and almost the responsibility of raising your other siblings was always on you. So when they are in any sort of financial problem, you bail them out even at cost to yourself. We keep talking about the effect of black tax on women, but we have to also, as women, understand why we succumb to it that easily. It is because of the expectation that women are just supposed to bail people out, or they should always be kind, they should always be generous, yeah? And then even when we do have money and things are going well, we feel guilty that things are actually going well, or we feel guilty for the ones being in financial control because that's not the narrative we have in our head. So remove your reality. What is your narrative? And many things make us have a narrative. Let me go back to women who have decided to stay home. That's fine, but I want you to understand that that's just a circumstance. It's a season in your life. But the narrative should never be it is that you are not capable of earning money. You have made a choice for this season of your life, for whatever reason, and I hope it is you who has made the choice and the choice has not been imposed on you. Because if the choice has been imposed on you, it is time for you to look at that choice. But I want to give you this because I worked with somebody and she was getting back or trying to get back to the job market, but she was feeling inadequate because there was that gap in her CV. But we went through first the skills that she has. Remember, I talked about non-financial assets. Even when she was running the home, I mean, everything from teamwork to project management to organization to analysis to building relationships she had done. She had even managed some investments on behalf of the family. So when she was packaging herself to get back into the job market, that is what she had to talk about. Don't talk about the age gap. So when you go back to an interview, you don't focus on that gap. You focus on, this is what I was doing. If you're raising children, you are not doing nothing. You are doing a lot of work. So use that. So it was simply about changing the narrative, and she ended up getting a really, really, really good job. Because ladies, the skills that people are looking for are those same ones that you used to run your household, those same ones that you used to run your children and their lives and their school routines and everything. Those are the skills that are needed. And then now you just combine it with experience and you can go. So you're not there because you don't have money. If you've lost a job, we as women take on a lot. We think it's our fault. I lost my job because I was not good enough. Or the business is going through challenges, and I've felt this, where the business is going through challenges that I cannot control, but it's me who takes it on. If people in my team move on to other opportunities, sometimes I feel, is there something wrong with me? Is it because I didn't do X, Y, Z that they have gone? So we take on so much because of the belief system that if circumstances on the outside change in a way that is not favorable, it must be us who have done something wrong. And when I talk to men, they don't seem to have that automatic button of blaming themselves. Yeah, but women, we take it on a lot. So what are you taking on and blaming yourself that really has nothing to do with you? But it's a belief that if things go wrong, it must be me, not other people, not the economy, it must be me who's not doing something right. And that thing of not being good enough, when you fundamentally believe you are not good enough, when you fundamentally believe you are not whole and complete just in yourself, not because of the amount of money you're earning or not earning, not because of the relationship status you have or not have. If you don't have that fundamental belief that you are enough as you will always be looking for something on the outside to plug the hole. Now, when it comes to money, if you're looking for money to validate you, in the Making Sense book I write, you're giving money a job description it was never meant to be. It's like asking your 5-year-old to be the family doctor. Money was not supposed to validate you. So whether you're earning 2 bob or 200,000 or 2 million, that should not be your identity. That belief you are not less important or more important simply because of the amount of money you have. So let's change the narrative of money to be a tool for what we want, but in itself, let's not make money the life. Yeah. So what's the belief system you have about yourself? It is very important because, as you said, money will come to reflect that belief system. You're constantly in debt. There's a belief system somewhere. Yeah, you're constantly overspending. There's a belief system. Even if that belief system is simply, if I'm not driving the right car or not seen to be in the right places, it means something is wrong with me. Then address the belief system. Then your thinking can change, because we have so many ups and downs to go through. So if we're constantly trying to look for our stability in external circumstances, we will be all over the place emotionally. And that's why we get so emotionally exhausted. And then we'll be all over the place with money, because money, I love studying money because money reflects so many things about people. It cannot identify you, but the way your relationship with money reflects so many things. If you're constantly saying you are broke, why then are you surprised when you find yourself broke? Because you've had experiences that have put you in a scarcity mentality. So even though you'll constantly talk about being broke, and then you will do the very same actions that ensure that you are not broke. So our emotions and money are linked. As much as we'd like to say, let's just be logical with money and leave emotions out of it, very few people are able to do that. I don't think I met anybody who's like 100% of the time my emotions have not played a part. If you're feeling fearful, and that's every day you wake up and it is fear driving you, even though the best investment opportunity is put in front of you, your filter will be through fear. So someone will have to get through so much with you, and you'll be stuck in analysis paralysis because your default button is fear, not faith or opportunity. It is fear. So is your primary emotion around money fear or is it faith? And the two cannot coexist. Yeah, so one has to be the driver. Not that you will not have fearful moments, you will, but it's being self-aware enough to come back and say, okay, this is the external circumstance. Can I still myself? Can I center myself? Can I go take a walk? Can I listen to something different? Can I have a different conversation? Can I look for somebody who's gone through this that puts me in the position of faith? Because our emotions will, if you're fearful, you'll want to spend money to look for something to fill that void quickly. Let me buy something to make me feel good. Let me give someone money. Then I can feel I'm doing good. Let me throw money. Let me pay somebody's debt. Let me take debt on behalf of somebody because I'll get an instant validation from that person. Yeah, that makes me feel that life is okay. But it's only for a short bit and then you'll go back to your primary emotion. So what were your experiences? And not just childhood. We've continued having experiences along the way with money. At time I lost money in property and it made me stay away from property from a very long time because that was an experience. Yeah. Some experiences are also very good. So we've also had very good experiences with money. And I want you to remember those. It's just that we tend to retain fearful experiences in our minds a lot louder. So like I was telling you in the marathon, I remember I did 3 kilometers and I said, I can run. I've done a marathon way before, but I remembered that. Sometimes we have to go back and say, but not everything has been bad with money. Why am I so exhausted? I've done some really good career moves. I've made some really good decisions. I've handled money. So go back and be your biggest cheerleader because also your positive experiences can become beliefs, can become thoughts. And go out and give yourself positive experiences. So what positive experience can you give yourself? With money and otherwise, because it will now build. So if you do one thing with your money that works out, please hold that in your head. You make one investment that works out. Today, you do a little bit more towards paying your debt. You do a little bit more towards growing your business. You do a little bit more towards growing your career. You do a little bit more towards financial planning. You do a little bit more towards shopping effectively. That goes. You do something to make you feel you are good enough. You save and you go on a holiday. You do that positive experience, those things matter. And that's why I always tell women, please do the things that fill your cup because adding on to positive experiences, again, will change your beliefs about you. Again, will change your thoughts about you and your patterns will change. And then the positive experiences can become louder and louder and you start to see yourself differently. And then your financial life takes on a different perspective because you have started taking control and changing your narrative about money. So even if the outside world shows you something, you walk into a financial institution and because you're a woman, they're ignoring you. No, you challenge them so that you can understand you did not bow down to their level. Yeah. And then go and make that investment. Yeah. Challenge them but go ahead and make that investment. Don't succumb to what other people expect you to believe about yourself. Yes, change your narrative about money. Your emotions and how you feel play a part. Please keep watching my social media handles because we are going to do something. We're going to have an event on December 6th that is about this. It's about our emotions and money. We're going to investigate because everything as women is coming from there and we're dealing with a lot that makes us very emotionally exhausted. But once we take control of it, we can then start telling our money what to do and where to go. So change that narrative. Thank you very much.